Sunday morning. It's 11:20 and I just left Bart's house. It's been another great trip there with Bart. Awesome night last night. Got a Halloween buck during a full moon. This morning I got up a little bit early. I went out and picked up my ground blind, and on the way back I noticed a small little rub that I hadn't noticed before right under the lock-on. Well, I never noticed this rub right here by the lock-on. Been here the whole time. So then Bart and I, we cleaned up that deer, got it in the cooler. That part is absolutely my favorite part of the deer, the back strap. Tenderloins, back strap is where it's at. And then I actually took my head over to a taxidermist to get a Euro done on it. So he's basically gonna boil and bleach it. I did that instead of skull capping it because you can always skull cap a Euro mount later if you wanted to shrink it down some. But also because this is a CWD county, and I don't think you can leave the head with the brain intact can leave the county because it's a CWD county. And then I'm going into Wisconsin, and I didn't want to do all the research to find out what I can do, what I can't do, and I didn't want to get to Wisconsin and maybe get to a taxidermist and have them say, oh, we can't take this because it's out of a CWD county in another state. So I just dropped it off here. I'll pick it up in the spring when I come back through turkey hunting and whatnot. So right now I'm going to head up to the Lease. It's about a 3.5 hour drive, and hopefully I can put up this stand that I got. And the reason why I really want to get this stand up is, one, so I have a stand to come back to when I come finish out archery season and start the gun season up at the little Lease. But also I want to stop dragging this thing around. It's like 60 pounds and it's very big. It's like 5 feet by what, 4 or 5 inches by about 18 inches. Yeah, I'd like to stop carrying that thing around. Obviously I don't have a ton of room. It did ride on the roof coming out, but I figure I'm going to take it off in 4 hours. I don't need to wrap it up in a tarp and do all that jazz. So anyway, that's the next step. All right, so this will be the first time I lay eyes on the Lease when I get up there. So we'll turn you back on in about 3.5 hours. All right, I've arrived at the Lease, and I'm going to go check out the most significant terrain on here, which is this clump of trees that surrounds a pond. Tell you what, I'm kind of liking what I'm seeing. Well, right now it's still covered in soybean, so obviously that's good. But let me jump out real quick and show you what else I'm digging. The drainage here starts at these cedars, which I'm also liking, but it's a thick drainage. It's really high weeds. It looks taller than the soybean, so it's probably 4 or 5, maybe 6 feet tall, with a couple sporadic little trees in it. Potential bedding areas. I like that. Bedding on the property is not bad. Would not be surprised if something is bedded actually in here. I'm gonna find a place to park and then put something else on. It's breezy and a bit chilly. And start walking and start seeing what I see. Possibly a scrape right here. Would make sense. That looks like it's been chewed on or something. Well, the edge of this bad boy is absolutely covered in tracks. I think there might be a couple deer here. Well, this is what we got going for now. Got a blind in this nice corner with some cedars. Trail camera right there, looking right down through here. There's a little scrape right there, and there's one about 150 yards down. Somebody's target practicing over there. Missouri gun openers in 13 days. All right, so it's been a few days. We'll do an update. After I left the lease, I went to a hotel and stayed the night there, and the next day I drove up to Jeff's. It's about an 8-hour drive from the lease or so. Spent a day and a half at Jeff's, and then came over here to the camp. So I've been checking crossbows, making sure everybody's got their crossbows with a good 0, and driving them out to the stands and stuff. So I'm in one of the stands right now. There are 6 of these wheelchair accessible 8x8 blinds. They've got windows on all 4 sides. There's a handicapped ramp out here. And so this is day 2 of their hunt, and I'm kind of just sitting in this one waiting to pick them up this evening. If I get a doe or small buck, I'm not shooting it. The priority is those other guys. Jeff is back at camp, and he may or may not go out tomorrow morning. I'll probably go out tomorrow morning, but if one of those guys that are here gets one, then we'll go track it and drag it for him. My golf cart is about 100 yards that way, and right now, to be honest, I'm having a hard time staying awake. It's very warm out. It's probably in the high 60s. A little bit of a breeze, but I sit here and start to fall asleep. Tonight's not a serious hunt. Maybe I'll be a little more serious tomorrow morning, but other than that, we're just gonna kind of watch. I'd like to see some does come through just to watch them.